Ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, I am Josh Samuel, the one and only. And on the line with me, ladies and gentlemen, is a brother by the name of Fran. Fran, how have you been doing, man?
I've been doing great, honestly.
Good. Brother Jordan Ross was going to join us, but he was unable to. However, he will join us next week for the latest episode. Fran, you and I have both bore witness to Joker. Its acclaim, which started back in late August, I think it was, up until now, with people literally running scared to go see the movie. Starting out, Fran, I want to know, why do you think Joker is getting dragged through the media like it is?
I think because of two things. First one, it is because it's a DC movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, you're so conspiratory and this and that." I mean, we've seen what critics want to do to DC movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing new.
Mm-hmm.
We've already known it. And now this movie that comes out that is somehow revolutionary for the genre of of superhero movies,
Mm-hmm.
and it's come to kind of change the game.
Mm-hmm.
They are scared or something. They're like, oh my God, if this movie is successful, the Joker is not going to make... I mean, if the Joker is a successful movie, we are not going to have Marvel movies and everything's going to be dark. Like, no. Okay? Relax, there's space for everything. There's space for dark, R-rated movies, and there's a space for Marvel movies. It's not that big of a deal. And the other thing is politics. Like, I don't know why I hate it when movies, not the movie itself, because movies tend to be political and there's nothing wrong with it,
right?
But the social perception of a movie, like, oh my God, this movie is going to be so right-wing, and then someone says, no, this movie is going to be so left-wing. It's like, let the movie be what it needs to be and what it wants to be.
And shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up and let people enjoy it. Don't go saying like, oh my God, this is like the Bible for a white male mass shooter. Like, what? Like, and so if I see John Wick, I'm going to go out in the streets and kill a bunch of people? It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. And people are obsessed with it. And I saw a tweet like today where it said that Joaquin Phoenix was so into the role that he sometimes walked out of the set and came back after taking a breather and saying, okay, now I'm ready to do it all right. And I'm seeing people like, oh my God, men. Oh my God, I'm tired of men. It's like, are you tired of a guy who is so professional in his duty and in his job that he prefers to take a break, not flip on a partner or an actor or the director or anyone, and come back and do his work the best he can? Like, these people are so fucking stupid, I can't even start to comprehend. Like, I'm tired of men. I'm just tired of men because he wants to be professional and not blame people who don't have to be blamed for, and because he wants to be professional and give you the best movie that he can. And you are tired of men. And one thing, this post was made by a man.
Oh my God.
I don't know. That self-hating thing, I don't know how is it going in his life, but I don't know. These people, man, they drive me crazy.
Yeah, it's just really bizarre. I mean, when the movie first premiered at the festival, it just the praise was unanimous. Joaquin Phoenix performance was acclaimed across the board. Everything was going good. It had like a 90 on Rotten Tomatoes. Yet here we are now. People are just, I don't think I should go see it. I'm scared, or it's about a clown, or it's about a clown who laughs. I'm just like, bro, it is literally just a movie. Like, it really ain't that serious. The following week, Zombieland 2 comes out. The week after that, Maleficent comes out, a movie about a supervillain, for example. So if I go see that movie, I'm not gonna decide that I want to put fake wings on and cast spells on people and bring fairies to life. But it's stupid, man. It's stupid. And it's interesting that you bring up John Wick, brother Fran, because we see a lot of violence in cinema, whether it be, like you said, John Wick, the upcoming Terminator Girl Power sequel no one asked for, or even most recent with It Chapter 2, which also had a clown. Why do you think why do you think it's such a big deal with Joker? Because it just seems like everything about Joker is just so quote unquote concerning, so quote unquote worrisome. People are literally running scared like the entire United States is actually Gotham. What's your thought on that, man?
Well, I mean, I think that first of all, like I said, it's because it is a DC movie, and I don't know why and how they feel threatened. I don't really understand it. I'm not going to go into it because I just don't. And the other thing, I don't know, like, because in this time of this time of politics and political change that we are undergoing, I think that some people are scared that people are not intelligent. I'm not going to say intelligent because you don't have to be intelligent to understand what a movie is. I mean, if you are older than 10 years old, you know that a movie is fictional. Like, I'm not going to go and watch Taxi Driver and suddenly become this other guy, completely different personality, and go and try to assassinate the mayor of my city. Like, that's not how fucking movies work. And with the politics that we have now, I think that people are scared that someone sees this movie and they have some kind of revelation and say, oh my god, this guy is alright, I have to kill everybody. Like, there's been movies like that, and there's still movies like that where people die and some guy kills 20 people with a gun or a bomb or whatever, and no one goes out and does the same thing. I think that they are creating false alarm. I don't know why they are trying to bring down the movie, and I am sure of one thing. They are trying to bring it down because it is one hell of a movie. I think they are fucking scared of it. I think that they are scared of R-rated superhero movies, dark movies, serious movies. I think they are scared of it. And I think that when someone tries so hard and so bad to destroy something that hasn't done any wrong, apart from being a different piece of cinema, I think it is because it's a masterpiece of a movie. I'm saying that I haven't seen it, but I've known people who've seen it here in Spain in some special showings, and people who know about cinema, whose life is cinema, and they're saying it's like top 3 of the 21st century. So when someone says something like that, it's like, I know why these people are scared. They are scared of a different kind of cinema.
Yeah.
Which is stupid. I don't know what you think about it, but that's my take on it.
Yeah. And it actually goes back to what I said about Marvel and people not wanting, and you said it as well, Fran. It's like people are afraid, and I don't, and it's a fascinating thing. It's a concerning thing as well. If you're that worried about, like I said, if you're that worried about someone going into a movie theater and deciding to get, crazy or violent, you are actually one person we need to be worried about, because you can't differentiate fiction and reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
that's so true.
And not only that, brother, it's what we both have said. Me, you, and Jordan Ross. People don't want anything other than the MCU. I don't know why, and I don't understand why. I don't hate the MCU. We'll talk about that in another video. I don't necessarily hate the MCU, but I hate what it's doing to cinema and movie goers. I hate what it's doing to people who just watch the movies casually, and then they turn around and think that all movies need to follow that same narrative, that same pattern, or that same criteria. Joke, a little seriousness, joke, credit scene, boom, done. Let's do the next one. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, Joker, Todd Phillips, Joaquin Phoenix, they didn't do anything besides do their job. Zack Snyder, people say I talk about him too much. Zack Snyder, Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, they did nothing but do their job. And they get, as we see now, they're just getting dragged through the mud for it. Moving on, before I get started, Do you feel that all this controversy surrounding Joker will benefit or hurt the movie?
I think, like as they said in The Wolf of Wall Street, every publicity is good publicity. Even if people talk trash about it, they are still talking about it. And when people talk about it, even if it's in a bad way, more people are going to start to know you and know who you are, and maybe someone is going to be like, oh, who's this guy who everyone says is so bad? Let's see, let's just out of curiosity see who he is, and they start investigating, and they're like, oh, maybe I like this guy. So every publicity is good publicity. When a release of a movie is so controversial and so there's so much people talking about it, everyone is going to go and watch it. Because they're like, oh my god, what is the deal with this movie? People are saying that it is so violent. Let's go see it. Maybe we can say something about it. Oh my god, this guy said that it's a masterpiece. Let's go see it. This guy said that it's a horrible movie. But it said that it's so violent and so maybe not helpful with the political tone right now. Maybe I'm a really political person. I want to see it and see how that could affect our modern politics. Things like that seem so stupid, people just get interested. It's like, oh, people are talking about it so much, let's go see it. Maybe some people don't even know who the Joker is, but they see articles and people talking about it everywhere, so they're like, okay, let's go see it. Let's see what's the deal with this movie. So I think that it is going to blow up. Like, I think it only costed like 60 million to make or something like that, and they are predicting that in the first weekend it's going to make like 92 million or something like that. So I think it's going to be the fucking bomb. And maybe that teaches Warner Brothers a lesson, that you can make R-rated comic book films and people will love it. What do you think? Do you think that all this thing is going to push it up or push it down?
I think a little bit of both. I think it's definitely, like you said. That's what when I came up with that question, that was the first thing I thought of. All publicity is good publicity, and it's just gonna, like you said or alluded to, it's gonna make more and more people interested. I don't think it's gonna necessarily hurt its chances of box office success or acclaim, because people have already said that it's like people you've known have said that it's already a great movie or a masterpiece, whatever. I just wonder how. I think in one way it can hurt is probably its chances of winning an award. I don't know. I don't think it won't get nominated. I think it is going to get nominated for multiple awards. I just think it's in terms of winning, whether that be Best Actor or Best Picture, I don't know if this is going to be helpful to the campaign for that. But if the movie is a success financially and everybody ends up loving it, then, fuck the awards. They're a joke anyway. They didn't nominate Aquaman and they should be ashamed. Moving on.
I mean, and one more thing, like
Go ahead.
I think we should be kind of scared that they don't nominate it for Best Picture, or maybe Joaquin Phoenix doesn't get the Oscar because of the current political time that we are living in. So maybe the judges or the people who are in charge of nominating in the Oscars, who I don't know who they are. Maybe someone can tell us. I don't know. Maybe they are influenced by these bloggers and these woke people. And they're like, oh my god, we shouldn't really give publicity to this film, because if we give it an Oscar, everyone is going to be at our throats saying that we are enabling terrorism or something like that. But in the other hand, maybe if it gets nominated for Best Picture, for example, even if it doesn't win it, if it gets nominated for Best Picture, that means that it is so good that even people who are trying to bring it down in the industry can't do it. Like, I think that if it gets nominated, that means that it is so fucking good that they even can't deny it with their political agendas. And that will be like a fucking punch in the face for those people. I mean, I wish that it gets nominated, because comic book films should be more present in the Oscars because some of them are fucking works of art.
Mm-hmm.
But I won't fully think all this stuff until I see it this Friday.
Right.
I'm going to relax a little bit.
Now, Fran, we're gonna move on, brother. First of all, I always think about the Dark Knight Rises the night before. I know I couldn't sleep, and tragically, we all I remember the day just like no other. You know, I logged into my laptop. Somebody had spoiled the ending for me on YouTube because I foolishly went to the comment section of the trailer itself. I remember clicking on Yahoo and seeing a news article about a shooting in Aurora, Colorado that took place at a screening of The Dark Knight Rises. Just a unthinkable, disgusting, and despicable tragedy. The guy was apprehended. I'm not gonna get into conspiracies and all that because that's not what I do on this particular channel. But just the unthinkable tragedy. My thoughts are even now with the families and the victims and their loved ones respectively. What is your thought on the theater where the tragedy took place choosing not to show the movie? Do you agree with that, man, or what's your thought on that, man?
Well, I'm firstly going to say that my experience is far different.
Mm-hmm.
Like here in Spain, we've never had that kind of problem.
Right.
Like, I personally never have, but I know people who've had maybe kind of fights, maybe not throw punches, but discussing in cinema like, oh my god, fuck you, shut the fuck up, and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been lucky enough to not have those kind of problems.
Mm-hmm.
But I must say that when someone so crazy as that guy, I hope that if he fucking dies right now,
Mm-hmm.
but when you concede to what he was trying, maybe he wasn't trying to say anything. Maybe he was just crazy and he just wanted to kill people because voices in his head told him to. I'm not going to get into that, but when in the United States, I think that you stopped doing midnight showings. Is that right?
Some theaters have, but a lot. I know even mine still has pretty late showings. I think ours is 10, but some theaters have, yeah.
Oh, okay. I've heard a podcast some years ago that said that after that happened, every cinema stopped doing those midnight showings.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it is different now. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But when someone so crazy as that does something like that, you should never concede and never change your way of life because someone as crazy as that does something that horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, maybe it wasn't his intention. But if it's not for security reasons, you shouldn't change your way of life. And with tying it to Joker, don't be afraid to go see this movie. Like, don't create alarmism and, oh my god, you're going to take one step into the room in the cinema and some crazy guy dressed as the Joker is going to start shooting at you. Like, don't do that stuff because you're creating a false alarm of terror and fear for people who just want to see a movie.
Yeah.
And the worst thing about it is that you are creating it for your own political agenda.
Mm.
That's what it is so disrespectful and so horrible and so bad to do. Like, they are saying, oh my god, don't go to these Joker showings because it is going to enable these kind of people to take their guns and kill everybody. And you are doing that because you don't want the movie to succeed. And that's the worst thing about it. That you are creating false alarmism and you are impulsing fear into people who just want to have a good time at the theaters because you don't want a movie to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Because your political way of thinking, you're being too woke, or I don't know, is telling you to say these stupid things.
Mm.
So don't let these people scare you. Don't let terrorists like that fucking guy scare you from going to a midnight show if you want to.
Mm.
Don't concede because then they will win.
Yeah.
If you change your way of life, because some crazy guy did something horrible, they are winning. Don't do it. If you go in surely and safely, you are winning. And I'm not saying this like, oh my god, you are going to be so brave going to a midnight showing of the Joker, but don't even think about it. Like, just think that you're going to see a great movie and that you're going to have a good time. Don't listen to people who are telling you, oh my god, this crazy guy is going to come in and kill you and or your family. Don't listen to these guys. They are just trying to push their political agenda. And that's like the worst thing about it. That because of politics, people are capable of saying those stupid things and crazy things for a movie
and inciting fear in their fellow moviegoers. I agree, man. And when I first read that they were doing it, I was just like, if y'all are that worried about a movie that has no ties to The Dark Knight Rises or that despicable, disgusting piece of shit of a human being that did that, why don't y'all just simply put security or ask the police to be very present, even if it's at the doors of the theater, that screening the Joker. Why not just bring the police into it? But I guess I don't know. I guess that makes too much sense. Anyway, moving on. And we talked a little bit about this earlier, brother. Joker getting early high praises. Like with the praise that we saw back at the Venice Festival. Again, it was damn near 100 on Rotten Tomatoes. And people say, oh, I thought you didn't care about Rotten Tomatoes. I don't, but, it just doesn't make sense how the movie was at a 90, close to 100, and now it's barely staying alive in the 70s. To now the media making the public concerned about, attending a movie theater. This just all doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Fran, would you agree or disagree, man?
I highly agree. And because when you see the kind of critics that the movie has on Rotten Tomatoes, I mean, I just start laughing. Like, I see some people saying, okay, I just watched Joker, and my official review on Rotten Tomatoes is going to be, Joker is a bad movie. Like, I swear that I saw a critic in Rotten Tomatoes said, I critic something like that. Mm-hmm. Like, it was, Joker is a bad movie, or Joker is trying to be pretentious, and it is a bad movie. What kind of critic is that? Like, I always say, where's the critic of the cinematography? Where's the critic of the score? Where's the critic of the script? Where's the critic of the actors' performances? Mm-hmm. Where's the critic of the direction? You're not giving me anything. You're just saying this movie is bad. And like I always say, I mean, this is like the never-ending book. It's every time it's the same thing. This same woman who said that the Joker was a bad movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp, 5 out of 5. Oh my god, this movie is so much fun. 5 out of 5. It's like, I don't know, why do you have to keep pushing your political agenda and your woke thoughts and everything into movies? Like, leave that out of movies. We are just trying to enjoy them because we love them. That's it. Stop. Like, I mean, I saw some other critics like, oh my god, Joker tries to be this profound movie and it fails miserably. Mm-hmm. Okay, tell me why it fails. There's nothing wrong with doing, like a constructive critique. There's nothing wrong with it. You don't have to love it, but you don't just say something as bold as that and just leave it there and give it a 1 out of 5. It is so stupid. And I must say that right now, in the films to come, and in this film, and in some other films that has come before, we should slowly stop watching or listening to what critics have to say, mm-hmm. and watch more the audience score. I think that the audience score for a movie is what gives it the rotten or the fresh. I think that should give it, because when 200 people say that a movie is good or bad, you don't really have the core of the opinion in the general public. But when you have like 800,000 opinions and it has a 95%, you know that movie is good. So I think that we should start listening more to audience scores more than critic scores.
If we're going to listen to them at all. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, slowly stop listening to them.
Yeah. I mean, man, it's baffling. And we saw something similar with Aquaman, and I brought this up a lot. It wasn't... Aquaman was doing fine with the critics, and as soon as Jason Momoa said, fuck yeah, I want to see the Snyder Cut, the ratings just started slowly but surely just dipping. And I saw the movie. I thought it was really, really, really good. And I just can't understand why it, too, has a low fucking score. It just doesn't make sense. And again, fuck you to the people that didn't nominate the movie for best visual effects. But moving on. See, I know this is going to make some people very salty, but I don't care. What is
your... but you're dropping bombs and good bombs all the time. Every time you say that, fuck those people for not nominating Aquaman, you are being right. So don't stop doing it.
What's your thought on Todd Phillips saying that you can't beat Marvel in so many words? Before you go, Fran, I did a video recently covering that. And I agree, but I also disagree. Because when you make movies like Joker, a movie like BVS Ultimate Edition, a movie like Logan, it shows that the MCU, or whatever you want to call it, can definitely be beat and is being beaten. It's just that studios like WB, like Sony, even though it seems like Sony just wants to dip into the MCU pool. I don't know. We don't know what they're going to do, all they're going to do just yet. It just seems like, that, yeah, these movies can be beat. They may not can beat them in terms of box office totals, because even Captain Marvel grossed $1 billion. And, that's whatever. That's another topic for another video. But I agree with Todd, but I disagree. Because when you have these type of unique, distinct movies like Logan, like BVS Ultimate Edition, and like Joker, it shows that they can't. And even a lesser animated movie like Into the Spider-Verse, those movies show that you can beat Marvel, even if they are part of Marvel, but they're not in the MCU. What's your thought on that, man?
I think that what he meant was you can't beat them in their same market. Like, Marvel has their market. It is a wide audience who don't really care about the script or the plot holes or whatever. They just like to see good things with their favorite superheroes, and that's it. So you can't compete in that market of action, funny joke, action, funny joke, action, funny joke, post-credit scene. But you can compete with them creating something different. Attracting a different kind of demographic from the audience. Because this Joker movie is an R-rated who is not trying to take on the demographic of 10, 12, 14, 16 years old. They are trying to take in like a more adult audience, an audience who really enjoys cinema that is not necessarily everything explosions and fights and everything like that. So I think that what he meant is that you can't compete in them in that way of making movies, because they have the monopoly there. They are unbeatable there. So I think that what he was trying to say is go in another route, make a different take on the market, take a different amount of people who are adults, take a different demographic, and make a completely different movie that is R-rated. Marvel doesn't have R-rated movies. You can't compete in them in family-friendly movies. Let's make R-rated movies. You can compete in them in funny movies. Let's go make serious movies. That's what they should do, and I think that was what he was trying to say. And I think that he's fairly right. I think that he really understood the market, and he really understood what was going on with superhero movies right now. That's why he made it so different. Like, the cinematography is great, the tone is so serious, everything is dark, it is R-rated, so I think that he really got it.
Okay. What's the worst... You touched on it a little bit earlier, Fran, but what is the worst critique you've seen of Joker so far, man?
Oh my god, if you give me 2 minutes, I'm going to go search for them in Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, the one I said, like, Joker is a bad movie and that's it, and I saw some of them that said it is trying to be pretentious and it is not. And I'm going to search for him because some of them are so fucking funny. Where is it? Where's the Joker? Where is it? It is in Rotten Tomatoes, right?
Yeah.
It is supposed to be. Oh, here it is. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Let's go. Let's have some fun, people. Already, I'm giddy at the prospect of never thinking about this movie again. Barry Hurt, Globe and Mail. Okay, Barry, what kind of shitty take is that? Like, come on, you're not saying anything. You're not critiquing the fucking film. You're like, oh my god, I'm so giddy to not see this movie again. Okay, why is it wrong? Why do you don't want to see it again? It's so fucking stupid. Let's see another one. Some of them are so fucking funny that they think that they are like this superior moral highness of, oh my god, this movie is trying to be this and it doesn't get it. And a joyless feeling with the wit and emotional intelligence of a school shooter manifesto. What?
Wow,
that I didn't see that one. Okay, John Deeringer from Screen Slate, you should be ashamed to say something as horrible as you just said. Fucking A. Like, this is what we are dealing with.
Yeah.
Like, these people are thinking that a Joker movie from a guy who is broken and rises again as a different persona who isn't necessarily a good guy because he isn't. You're saying that this movie it has the emotional intelligence of a school shooter manifesto? What are you talking about, man? Like, these people are so sad. Joker desperately searches for something to make it distinctive. It doesn't succeed. I don't know, man. I only saw the first trailer, and with that trailer alone, it surely did something distinctive. But whatever you wanna say, bro. I mean, they're so shitty takes. They don't talk about the movie. They're like, okay, I saw this movie and I think that it is going to be a manifesto for school shooters. Okay, I mean, that's a shitty take, but that's your opinion. But what you didn't what didn't you like about the movie? Did it have a bad cinematography? Did it have a bad script? Do you think that the ending message that the film gives you is bad? I mean, they are not film critics. They are just giving their opinion on something that has nothing to do with the fucking movie. It's so stupid.
And more importantly, like you touched on earlier, just because it's a DC film, bro, I think that just has a lot of bearing. Whew, man.
This film is what might have been dreamed up by one of the cynical bros from The Hangover during a blacked out stupor. What are you talking about, Keith Hoodlich from the Slant magazine? What are you talking about? Like, you're saying that a masterful of a movie who's looking great, who's everyone saying that Joaquin Phoenix is a masterful part of, is a dream from a cynical bro from a Hangover movie during a blackout, sorry? It's like, what are they talking about? I can't even start to comprehend what they are talking about. It's like if I started talking about cinema and you talk to me about the weather. It's like, what does that have to do with anything? Joker isn't the traditional comic book movie and presents villains sympathetically in a cringe-worthy way. This is the woman that I saw, Danielle Southman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she started to shit on Joker on Twitter, and she is transgender, so everyone started to come out after her, and she started crying and locked her account or something like that. I don't know. I'm not going to keep on reading this stuff, but this is the kind of things that we are against.
Yeah.
People who are saying that this movie is a manifest for school shooters. Like, what is your reasoning? What is going on inside of your head to say something like that because of a movie?
Yeah, seriously though.
Like, there's something wrong with it, with these people. Like, I'm not even joking. There's something wrong with the way your brain works if you think that a movie about a guy who becomes a clown piece of crime is a manifesto for school shooters.
A clown that has existed almost damn near 100 years, but continue.
Yeah, that's also true. Like in the in the Dark Knight, he's a chaotic guy who kills people for joy, and he enjoys what he does. And is that a school shooter manifesto? Because he's a bad guy in a movie. So you're telling me that Darth Vader is a shooting manifesto because he kills people? Because he's a bad guy? Like suddenly everyone who's a bad guy in cinema is an example for young people to go out in the streets and start killing innocent children? Like, what are you talking about? These people are fucking crazy, man. I don't know. And the bad thing is that Rotten Tomatoes are giving them the platform to give those shitty takes. That's the worst thing about it. They are verified critics.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's very sad, bro.
And I would like to ask you, like, I've seen a take on Twitter from one of these guys, surely, that said that Joaquin Phoenix and Todd Phillips were the ones to blame for the movie, and if something bad, really bad happens, they are the ones to blame because they were the ones who enabled and this and that. What do you think about it?
That's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, again, and this kind of ties into the next question. It literally is just a movie about a clown who has existed in DC Comics for, I don't know, X amount, again, almost damn near 100 years. If you're that worried about going to see a movie, you need help yourself. You need to seek counseling. I don't understand why a person would legitimately believe that a movie is just gonna make people go crazy. A movie just has that much influence over somebody's mind. I'm not saying that there aren't crazy people out there, and I'm not saying that there aren't sick people out there, because there definitely are. But I just don't understand why Joker of all movies is being the one that's just getting attacked from every direction, as a movie that should cause this quote unquote concern. It just doesn't make sense. We just had John Wick Chapter 3. We just had It Chapter 2, which also had a clown. We just had, Avengers. We just had, we've had movies about supervillains before. Wanted. I could go on and on. Why is the movie Joker the subject of all this unnecessary controversy when it's just about a fictional clown that does not even exist? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. In regards to that, that's just completely stupid. Isn't that the interview where Joaquin Phoenix walked out or something like that?
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Yeah,
like, I saw people talking about it, but I didn't see it.
Yeah,
and I think that he has all the reasons to.
Yeah, I don't blame him. It's just very, 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 very stupid. Moving on, brother. And yes, I'm being serious when I ask this. What is the best way, in your opinion, to remind people listening that Joker is just a movie, since some just don't seem to get it?
Well, I mean, it is a movie because you go to the cinema and see it, and we are all adults, so we all know that what happens in the TV isn't always true. Okay, yeah, let's go, people. Yeah, we're starting to get it. These people are actors, and they get paid to play someone who is in them. Oh, wow, this is so true. Eh? Oh, what a mysterious thing that we just uncovered. And it is something that you go see, watch it, enjoy it or not enjoy it, and go on with your life. It's a fucking movie. A book, it's a fucking book. It is a fictional book. That's it. Stop trying to like, if something bad happens, they're going to blame the movie. Mm-hmm. No, blame the fucking guy who does something bad.
Yeah.
This is just this is just a piece of cinema some people really work hard on, and it is just meant to entertain you for 2 hours, and that's it. It's meant for you to pay the ticket, entertain you. Maybe you like it, maybe you love it, maybe you hate it, and go on with your life. Yeah. That's it. It's a movie. You go to the movies for fun. That's it. Stop trying to push your political agenda and trying to, put people fear in people's minds because of a movie.
Yeah.
It's a movie. That's it, people. Nothing less, nothing more. You can go watch it, enjoy it, not enjoy it. That's fine. But that's it. It's a film. I mean, it is so stupid that in 2019 we have to explain this shit to adults. It is so fucking stupid. I don't know what's going on with the world. I don't know what's going on in the world when you have to explain people in their 30s that this is a movie and that this is in real life. I mean, how stupid can you be to think that this is going to influence people to start killing innocent people? I don't know. I think that they are starting to look like the new Christians. You know, when Christian traditional families in United States were like, oh my God, these video games and these movies are so violent, and Satan is behind them, and this and that. It is the same thing if you think about it.
Yeah.
It is the exact same thing. They are trying to censor it because they think that people are going to be crazy and become Satan and kill everybody. It is the same way of thinking, and the worst thing about it is that these people think that they are woke. They think they are at the highest moral pyramid that you can be, and they are the most stupid people in this world. They just fucking are.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, because it really gets me how stupid adults can get. Like, how can you not get that this is a movie? That's it. It's a movie. Why I have to explain to you, a person who is 30 something or 40 something, that this is a fucking movie? It is so stupid.
Damn. Well. Now this.
YouTube is going to take this down.
I hope not, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Let me ask you this, Fran, and I saw this floating on Twitter, and with the way everything is going about, I've thought about it from time to time, and we've talked about this in the past, and you know, people say, well, I don't think they would do that. They're winning anyway, so why would they do it? But when something starts to, you know, get hype and get more people invested, the other side tends to not like it. So I'm just gonna say it, friend. Is Disney behind the quote unquote trash Joker campaign?
I don't think so. I must say that I don't think that Disney is behind it because they know they have the market. Like, they are making 3 billion films, for fuck's sake. Like, I think that they don't really care about it. What I think is that people who declare themselves fan of Marvel and Disney are the ones behind it. Because I think that Disney itself, the company, isn't scared of it. They're like, okay, let them do their thing. We are making billions and billions of dollars from shitty movies. That's all right. And and I think that the so-called fans of these movies are the ones behind it. And that's the most stupid thing ever. Because if I am a fan, for example, I really like soccer or football. I really like football. I'm not going to start trashing on American football because it is starting to rise up. Imagine that it is starting to rise up. I'm not going to be trashing on it because I have mine. I am happy that I have this sport that I like. I'm happy that it is growing. And I don't care about American football. Let them do whatever the fuck they want. That's it. You should not care. If you don't like something, don't care about it. Caring about something and being all the time criticizing it only takes years from your life. And it's not worth it. So, from the question that you asked, I don't think that Disney is behind it, but people who are so-called fans of Disney are behind it. Because they get to push their political agenda in one way and also pretend to do it in the sake of, no, because I like these movies, I love these Marvel movies, and I want to keep seeing them, so I have to stop these R-rated serious movies from happening. And that makes an excuse of pushing my political agenda and pushing my opinions on something that shouldn't be that politicized.
Okay. Well, friend, I think we've definitely discussed Joker a whole lot. I want to flip it around right before we close and talk about the Snyder Cut real quick. There was a letter campaign, as you know, and Sarnoff was inducted to WB, and there was another letter campaign, which people worldwide took part of. What's your thought on all that, man? And how do you think things are looking now? Do you think because Screen Rant released the article, one that finally actually made sense, titled "Warner Brothers is out of excuses for not releasing the Snyder Cut." Shout out to Brian Cum as well. I completely agree. They're going to be having a streaming service, an extremely costly one. The demand is everywhere. They know this. It's worldwide. They are, in fact, out of excuses for not releasing it. What's your thought on all that, man? And then we'll close.
I think that the letter campaign is something good to bring up awareness for Mr. Sandorf.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that it is going to be making that big of an impact, but I think that it's serving its commitment, which is to inform this woman of the demand for the cut. Because I think that, I don't know, I'm speculating here, but maybe some people are trying to hide it. John Berg, maybe they are trying to hide it somewhere, like, no, that doesn't exist, let's move on, this and that, because they fucked up in that one. So I think that with this letter campaign, maybe she doesn't read all of them. Maybe if she just reads one,
mm-hmm.
she's like, oh, what is this Snyder Cut thing? And maybe she starts asking around
mm-hmm.
to other people who are up there in Warner Bros. And what is this Snyder Cut? And maybe some people are like, oh, it's this unfinished version, and you shouldn't really look into that and this and that. But because she's new, she doesn't have that background of, oh my god, I fucked up this movie, I shouldn't talk about it. Maybe she just gets interested and says, okay, what can we do with this footage? Can we finish it? Can we release it as it is? Can we release it in HBO Max? What can we do with it? Mm-hmm. I think that the purpose of these letters is to let this woman know that there is a demand.
Right.
I don't think that because of she says, CC, sorry, 500 letters, she's like, okay, release it. But I think that it is going to inform her of, oh, what is this? Well, let's see, what is this Snyder Cut thing? And I think that is the best thing that can happen. Mm-hmm. Because if someone with common sense, with a good business view of things, goes there new and says, oh, we have like 3 hours and a half of movie that no one saw and thousands of people are asking for it, okay, let's release it in HBO Max. There's no money to be lost and lots of money to be made. Sorry, that's like my point of view on seeing it. Okay. What do you think about it? What do you think about the letter campaign?
I think it's a good thing. I always think awareness is always the big word here, and making Ann Sarnoff, who may or may not know about the movement itself, I think continuing to show demand is a great thing. She might not know about the Snyder Cut, or she might, and us continuing to send letters or make signs, make videos, make whatever, will definitely show that there is still a demand, and there is always going to be a demand until it is released. In terms of who we should listen to, I think the main person that we obviously should be listening to most is Zack Snyder. He made it clear that he doesn't want us to give up back in March, when he said he has multiple copies, it's done, but it's not up to him, it's up to WB. So we have to keep putting pressure on WB to release it. Again, whether that's letters, whether that's videos, whether that's shirts, whether that's posters, whether that's throwing, bottles. No, I'm just playing. Sending bottles with letters to WB, saying release the Snyder Cut, whatever. As long as it's civil, and as long as it's in a calm manner, as long as bringing awareness, to the Snyder Cut, that's all that really matters until the day it is released. with that all said, Fran, Jason Momoa has said he's seen it. Others have said they've seen it. I think the big question is how they go about releasing it. Do they release it on the extremely costly streaming platform that they're going to be releasing, that J.J. Abrams is also tied to? And his, involvement also brings about more questions in itself. But we'll say that for another video. We've reached the end of this video. Ladies and gentlemen, I will leave a link to Fran's channel in the description. You all go subscribe to his channel and subscribe to mine as well. Like, share, and comment. And remember, don't get triggered. And we'll see you all next time. Peace.
Bye-bye.